Are you building or renovating your kitchen or bathroom? Do you want to know which bench tops are safe and which could be toxic? If you answered yes, then stay tuned. Hi everyone, if you're thinking of building or renovating, then this is the place to be. I am Nikki, CEO and founder of Totally Wicked Group, and welcome to our monthly Totally Wicked Live. We pre-record these videos, but we do have people online live right now answering your questions. Tonight we will be talking about silica-free bench tops for your kitchen and bathroom. We will be going through our top 6, discussing things like durability, maintenance and cost so that you can choose the right bench top for your next renovation or build. Now, if you want to know more about silica dust, why it's so dangerous and what's going on in Australia at the moment, then check out last month's video up here or down in the comments. So let's get into it. Our first on the list is acrylic, and it is the closest thing you could get for a one-on-one switch with engineered stone, and the great news is it is 100% silica free. Acrylic is sometimes called solid surface, and it is made up of, bear with me, polymethyl methacrylate, I think I said that right, PMMA, which is sometimes called plexiglass or acrylic glass. That's much easier to say. I'm just going to say that. This material is what gives it its strength, durability, and consistent color the whole way through the material. In this list, acrylic is mid-range for durability. It's not as tough as stone, but still a good option for those wanting the stone look without the hefty price tag that goes with it. It is non-porous and stain resistant and scratch resistant, but it is not so great for heat, so I wouldn't go putting hot pans directly on the surface. But due to its consistent colour, it is actually quite good for minor scratches and buffing them out. So durability wise, it's pretty good. Now, acrylic is certainly not the cheapest option on this list, but in my opinion, it is your best bang for your buck because the value of the extra couple of dollars you're going to spend is worthwhile for its additional durability. If properly maintained, it will last for a long time, and if you are a little bit rough with it, it will definitely last longer than some of the cheaper items on this list. Acrylic is number 1 on our list because it is so easy to maintain. It is resistant to mold and viruses, and it's non-porous so bacteria can't get in there and have a little party. So it is really, really easy to clean. Spray, wipe, mild detergent, and you're good to go. That is why it is number 1. So if you're wanting a budget-friendly option that can handle a little bit of wear and tear that you're not going to need to replace every 5 years, we think it is a really good option, especially if you're looking for a one-to-one swap with engineered stone. So overall, it's pretty good. If you're finding this video helpful and you want more people to see it, please click the like button so that it can be shared around. Thanks so much. Now, just like acrylics, laminates have been around for decades and they are a really good option, especially if you are on a tight budget. But they also have thousands and thousands of different colors and patterns and timber textures. It's really a huge, huge selection, probably the biggest that you can get in the list of materials that we're talking about today. Laminate bench tops are made up of multiple layers of material that are bonded together. The outside of the laminate is typically a melamine or a laminate. Just be aware of a few things. If you are buying a bench top and the outer layer is melamine, that is usually thinner than laminate, so it might not be as durable as you think it is. So make sure you are getting what you paid for. 2. Laminates are silica-free, but beware because some of them can contain formaldehyde. So we don't want to be switching something toxic for something toxic. So just check that out. Also be aware of the type of board that they are using underneath the laminate. Things like some MDFs have formaldehyde in them as well, and some compact laminates are very high in formaldehyde. So again, we don't want a toxic one-on-one switch. Usually if you're purchasing MDF that is made in Australia, it will be an E0 or an E1 rating, which means it's really low or has no formaldehyde in it. But if you're purchasing things online, they may have been made overseas and could have bypassed that. So just be very careful about where you're sourcing your baseboards from. On this list, laminate ranks a little bit low on durability. Laminate is not good against heat, so putting hot pans directly on the surface or cutting directly on the surface is not a good idea. However, if cleaned correctly and looked after, then you will likely get 5+ years out of a laminate benchtop. Laminate ranks number 1 on our list for cost. Now, obviously this depends on what type of finish that you go with, but there is a reason why laminate is everywhere. It is a really, really good, cheap option for something that's going to last a reasonable amount of time. With availability, as I said before, thousands of colours and looks, you really can't go wrong. So, number 1 on our list for cost. Laminate is not quite as good as acrylic, but in terms of regular daily use, spray, wipe, and you're all good to go. The problem with laminate is if it does get really badly damaged from deep scratches or heat damage, then there's really only one way to get rid of it, and that is to replace it. So daily use, it ranks really highly for maintenance, super easy, but longevity wise or fixing issues, it's pretty much replace it. In short, if price is super important to you because you're on a really tight budget and you can properly maintain your laminate, or you're happy to replace it every 5 years or so, then a laminate benchtop is absolutely for you. However, if you have a little bit more money to spend and you want something that's a little bit more durable or that has a nicer look and feel, then there's some other things on this list that you should check out. Timber! So, timber benchtops are a really great option, especially if you're going for a natural rustic look. And one of the benefits of them is you can find sustainably sourced or recycled timber for your benchtops, which makes it really green. So, thumbs up to you. Unfortunately, they do require a little bit more maintenance than some other options, but if you are willing to wax your wood regularly, then it might be a good option for you. So, where does timber rank on our list? Timber doesn't rank that great on the list, simply because it's not as strong as some of the other materials here. It does get a lot of dings and scratches, so I wouldn't recommend it for high traffic use kitchens or for rental properties because you'll get scratches a lot. But if you are willing to sand and buff and oil and polish your timber, then it should outlast any laminate or acrylic benchtop. Now this is a little bit tricky in terms of cost. Timber is usually more expensive than laminates and acrylic, but not so much as some of the other things on our list. But if you are really savvy and you go to all the recycling markets and try and find yourself a solid piece of timber and you don't have to fight other people to get it, then you might be able to get yourself a bargain. Availability is key though. A lot of people love solid timber and are willing to fight for it, so just be careful. Now this might surprise some of you, but solid timber benchtops are mid-range on our list of maintenance. And the reason is it does require more maintenance, but it is relatively easy to do. Like I said, wax your wood. If you choose an oiled or waxed finish for your benchtop, then once every 6 to 12 months, you get the beeswax out, give it a bit of a buff and a polish, and you're done. Whereas some of the other things on this list require professional equipment, chemicals and the like to come in and buff or polish or rejuvenate and maintain your benchtop. So that is why it is in the middle of the list. Timber is certainly the greenest option on this list, and if properly looked after and sourced, it could be excellent across all of these categories. But you need to be in love with the look of it and the regular maintenance it requires to keep it looking good and maintained properly. Next up is porcelain. And no, not like that. But yes, that plain looking porcelain that you see that's made into baths or toilets or hand basins, you can actually use for benchtops. And it's pretty good. Porcelain is made by mixing together a whole heap of things into a paste, and then it's compressed at high heat, making a solid slab. The final finish is then polished, and it creates a non-porous surface with a constant colour the whole way through. Porcelain usually comes in lots of stone colours and textures, and they are typically the best looking marble and stone replicas. So if you're looking for that sort of stone look without the huge price tag, porcelain could be the way to go. Just be aware, porcelain does actually contain silica, but it is usually less than 5%. So it is nowhere near the 70 to 95% that is present in engineered stone. So still a good option. When it comes to durability, porcelain is awesome. It is non-porous, UV stable, resistant to high heat, scratches, chips, dents, everything. This makes it an excellent option for high-use kitchens and even outdoor kitchens because of how stable it is. Porcelain is harder than acrylic, laminate, and timber, and due to its trial by fire manufacture process, it is completely unfazed by hot pots being put on its surface. So win-win. Now on this list, it is not quite the best for durability, but it is definitely worthy of its second place. Unfortunately, with this additional durability comes additional cost. While it is not the most expensive on this list, it is still more expensive than acrylics and timbers and laminates. And this is all due to the manufacturing process. That being said, porcelain is super strong and can be made in really, really big slabs. So if you want a big island bench without joins, this might be the one for you. Porcelain is really easy to maintain. Now we would have ranked it higher than timber, except once it is dented or scratched and needs a repolish, you require professional materials to do that. Whereas with timber, you don't. So that is the only reason why it is ranked worse for maintenance than timber. As always, if you look after your porcelain benchtop, all you really need to do is spray and wipe, and it will last you for a very long time. In short, if you want a more robust version of acrylic with the natural stone look, then porcelain is for you. Slightly more expensive, but incredibly durable. Think mid to high-end rentals, outdoor barbecue areas, and large stone look bench tops with waterfall edges. That's where porcelain is for you. Next on our list is a product that has been used for centuries, natural stone. For the purposes of this list, we are just talking about marble when we talk about natural stone, because it is so low in silica content and it is so tough, which is why it is great for benchtops. Marble ranks number 1 because it is so damn tough. I can only imagine it is a real pain to cut. I have never had to do it myself, but if you are a tradie and you have done this, please post in the comments your experience. We would love to hear from you. Also, if you have any tips on how to cut it. Marble benchtops will likely outlast your cabinets that they're sitting on. It could even be a family heirloom. Take your benchtop from one house to another. There's an idea. So, if durability and longevity are important to you, then it is definitely the option you should choose. Now, it is no big surprise that marble ranks 5th on our list for cost. It is a natural material. You will need to find it in a big piece in the quarry, and then cut it and grind it, extract it, polish it, do all these labor-intensive things to get it to the point where you can use it as a benchtop. So all of those processes add up to big bickies. But if you have the budget for it and luxury and opulence are the thing you're going for, then you really can't go past it. Just make sure you source your marble first so that you can design around it. Because the last thing you want is to pay all this money for a sexy long island bench and have a great big joint in the middle because you couldn't get one piece of marble. In terms of maintenance, marble benchtops are actually pretty good day to day. All you really need is some mild detergents or maybe some stone-specific detergents, spray and wipe like most of the other materials. The reason why it ranks so badly on our lists is because of the ongoing maintenance throughout its lifetime. While each type of marble is different, you will need to reseal it every 2 to 3 years, depending on wear and tear. And it really should be buffed every 6 to 12 months. And the problem with this is you just can't do it yourself. You need to get somebody in regularly to do that. Marble is undeniably the most luxurious item on this list, which makes sense because it is natural, it looks super sexy when it's polished, and there's an exclusivity about it that would make any kitchen a focal talking point. But it requires lots of maintenance and it is super expensive. It is important to keep in mind that you have to design around the slab of marble that you're getting, and you will need to do regular expensive maintenance on it. But if you're willing to do those two things, then definitely it's worthwhile. Last on our list is stainless steel. Now you either love it or you hate it. Typically it's found more in kitchens, but if done right, it can look really good in bathrooms too. Now, on face value, stainless steel ranks lowest on our list for durability, and this is because it does scratch easily, especially if you've got a polished or a mirror finish. But my argument is that this is what makes it look so great, especially if you go with a brushed finish, something that maybe has scraped swirls or a nice pattern over the top of it. So the scratches will actually add to the look of your benchtop. So while we originally did have this as 6th on the list, I think it's closer to a 3. And just like its porcelain and marble counterparts, it is incredibly strong and super heat resistant. This is one of the reasons why it is used in commercial kitchens. High-grade stainless steel benchtops not only is completely unfazed with hot pots being put on top, I reckon it would even say, "Oh, is that all you've got?" It is also highly resistant to rust, corrosion and staining, which, if you ignore the scratches, makes stainless steel really durable indeed, and very hygienic. Now, stainless steel officially takes 6th spot and becomes the most expensive benchtop you can get on this list anyway. Now, there might be some instances where marble may be more expensive, but if you are using stainless steel in your kitchen and you go with a 304 or a 316 grade, which is food grade, then it will likely be more expensive. Also, bearing in mind, each one would be usually made to order, and the process is quite laborious, which again adds to the cost. That being said, it will be fully customizable, so you could even have the sink built into your benchtop, or one piece. And if you take into account the cost of maintaining marble over its lifespan, marble will definitely come out as the more expensive. So again, I would say, even though it is 6th on its list, depending on circumstance, it could be a 5. But I'm a little bit biased. I really like stainless steel. Again, we have ranked stainless steel as the worst on the list, but that's only if you have a polished or mirror surface. These surfaces will show up every little drop of water, fingerprint known to man, whereas a brushed surface is less likely to show up these things, and in the grand scheme of things, it is just like the others, spray and wipe. Over time, you don't need to do much with stainless steel. You install it, and provided you clean up the mess as it goes, it's no long-term maintenance. Just think how easy it is to clean a good quality stainless steel sink. Now imagine your whole benchtop is like that. No. So, while it is a 6, I could argue it's actually more like a 3. As I said at the beginning, stainless steel, you either love it or you hate it. And if you want a scratch-free benchtop that comes in more colours than 50 shades of grey-blue or grey-yellow, then it's probably not for you. However, if you're looking for a funky industrial-style benchtop that has low maintenance, high durability and high longevity, then stainless steel might just be the one for you. We didn't include it on this list because it is quite high in silica concentration, between 20 and 40%. But if sealed properly, it can be a really good DIY option, which means that it could be a lot more cost effective if you're looking for something that's a little bit more nice looking, a little bit more pizzazz, but you really only have the budget for a laminate, then it could be a good option for you. Just be aware of your PPE so that you don't inhale any of that sand or limestone that could have silica in it. So there you have it. I hope you have enough information now to pick a silica-free benchtop alternative to engineered stone, granite and quartz. Next month we will be going through design tips for designing your kitchen. What is the kitchen triangle and why is it so important? So if you would like to be notified when we go live with that next video, please click subscribe down the bottom and ring the bell so you don't miss out on that notification. In the meantime, if you are designing a new bathroom, you can check out these videos here. Links in the description below also. So thank you so much for tuning in. I am Nikki, CEO and founder of Totally Wicked Group, and I hope you have a totally wicked evening.